I'm also the director, Office of Faculty Affairs, International University. Yeah, thank you very much. Yes.
Do you want to take that?
Yes.
Okay. There we go. Yeah. So my name is Beatriz Bliesmann de Guevara. I'm a professor of international politics at Aberystwyth University. Oops. Shall we start again? Okay. Oh, okay. My name is Beatriz Bliesmann de Guevara. I'm a professor of international politics at Aberystwyth University in the UK, and I'm also the principal investigator of the Creating Safer Space Research Network. It's an international network. We were funded by the UK Research and Innovation for 4 years, and this is now one of the culminations is this conference here. We funded 26 projects in 11 countries, in low and middle income countries, from Latin America to Africa, the Middle East and Southeast Asia. And our main focus is on unarmed civilian protection and community self-protection, so really the power and the agency that civilians have in protecting themselves and protecting others in situations of violent conflict and displacement, and violences of different kind, really. So we work in very many different countries across the globe, and I think what they all have in common is that violence is not a one-off event, but it's quite, sometimes it takes decades, and people are still able to come up with ways of creating safer communities for themselves, and thereby kind of creating possibilities to actually enter into dialogue and creating safer space also for peace to happen. So I think it's really important. Peace negotiations happen at different levels and so on, but if people are not involved, then nothing can happen in terms of peace. So creating safer spaces at the bottom of that, and people are at the heart of that. Yeah.
Thank you. My name is Professor Gordon Crawford from the Centre for Peace and Security at Coventry University in the UK. And I'm part of the team of researchers that have worked on the project in Cameroon. So this is looking at unarmed civilian protection in the Anglophone conflict in Cameroon. So we're a team of UK-based and Cameroonian researchers and civil society organisations. And very much as Professor Barrett was outlining, we take a bottom-up approach to unarmed civilian protection. So we've done research with civilians from some of the most conflict-affected communities in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon, where the conflict is ongoing, and we've documented their diverse approaches and measures that they have taken in order to protect themselves and their families and their communities. And we've come up with a real range of different protection strategies, which really shows that local people who are affected by conflict are not just passive victims, but they are really active agents in protecting themselves and their communities.
Yeah. Thank you very much. My name is Dr. Nancy Annan, and I am also a colleague with Professor Gordon at the Center for Peace and Security at Coventry University. And this is also our partner from Cameroon, Dr. Bernard Saka, who has been with us. Just to add a little to what Gordon said, I think that one of the key things that stood out for us in our research was the agency of the local people, how they are able to protect themselves, the resilience they have in protecting themselves in the face of violence and doing so non-violently. So this tells you that you can stop conflict, you can deal with conflict issues non-violently, and that is what we are promoting in this project. How do we use non-violent means to stop violence? And also, how do we enable civilians to protect themselves in the way that the mechanisms that they use? And I think that has stood out clearly for us in our project in Cameroon. The Anglophone civilians have demonstrated resilience and the ability to protect themselves and their fellow civilians non-violently.
Most of these society people that want to set organizations. How important is the government? Most of the time the government
Exactly, and in the Cameroon case, in the Anglophone conflict case, is a very tricky and a complex one. The role of the government in this case is a bit tricky, and it's something that we are looking at. But what for us is important is the civilian and the community groups, their agency in enabling a protective and a safer space for their own people. And I think that is what is being key for us. And so we are advocating for focus on the people. The heart of protection is with the people and what they are doing. And I think more attention needs to be given to that. How do we leverage those homegrown mechanisms of protection that they are using to enable a wider protection for civilians in the Anglophone region? And I think that is what is key.
That is the Creating Safer Space Conference, Regional Conference for Africa and the Middle East, live from the Strathmore University.